Hello, and welcome to Team 4's presentation on N Inc. My name is Jose Mayer, and I'll be covering the company's history, mission statement, and core values, as well as the general environment and competition. In addition, I'll be speaking to you about the company's strengths and weaknesses.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Degner, and I'll be presenting on chapters 4, 5, and 6.
Hello, my name is Roland Lewis, and I'll be reviewing Ann Taylor's International Strategy, Strategic Control Systems, and Corporate Governance.
Hello, my name is Cassie Polarski, and I will be reviewing chapters 10, 11, and 12.
To begin, I'd like to talk to you about the company's history. The first Ann Taylor store was opened in 1954 in New Haven, Connecticut by founder Richard Libeskind. The store was not named after a person, but rather after a dress design created by Libeskind's father. The Ann Taylor dress design was popular, and the style of that dress immediately established the well-dressed brand of Ann Taylor stores. Ann Taylor's mission statement is strength, fashion, style, and passion. At Ann Inc., they share a profound commitment to their clients. For more than half a century, they have evolved with the needs of real women who live full, active lives. Ann Taylor's motto of "Our values are her values" illustrates the importance they place in their clientele. They understand that a woman expresses herself through what she wears at work, at home, and at play. Ann Taylor champions the modern working woman and her love of fashion in everything they do. That's why for generations, Ann Taylor has been her go-to style destination, always leading with her with love. Ann Taylor is much more than a high-quality collection of beautiful wear-now pieces. They offer a unique combination of fashion, work, and flattering fit. Their goal is always to unleash a woman's confidence, femininity, and feeling of success, making her shine. At Ann Taylor, the focus is on building a genuine, strong relationship with both existing and new customers. This is done by offering the Ann Taylor woman more of what the company knows she loves. The brand knows and understands the full life she leads and is dedicated to being there for her, becoming her trusted confidant, and as a result, Ann Inc. has managed to secure loyal customers year after year. Ann Taylor's had an impact from the general environment. The recent economic upturn had a profound effect on the retail industry as a whole. Ann's Inc. top line rebounded in 2010, benefiting from an improved economic environment and increased fashion focus. In addition, profits recovered as the firm is running on a leaner structure, thanks to a restructuring program that led to closures of underperforming stores and cost-cutting initiatives. The economic upturn and higher employment rate provided customers with spendable income, which many used to shop at Ann Taylor. Ann Taylor's target customer is a well-educated, professional woman in her early 30s to mid-40s who seek the opportunity to look nice and classy, but still be in style and fashionable at the same time. With more and more women securing executive positions, Ann Taylor has a strong market demographic to build on and continue to grow. Ann Taylor has a strong brand presence online. Not only do they market their own websites, they also have an effective social media presence that helps them reach more customers. This innovative approach to marketing has allowed Ann Taylor to secure brand recognition at the global level. The 5 forces that have impacted Ann Taylor's bottom line are as follows. The suppliers and buyers. With more spendable income, Ann Taylor's loyal buyers are flocking to stores. Ann Taylor wants to prevent these buyers from going to other stores by luring them with lower prices. They're able to offer these lower prices by reducing their cost from suppliers. They have reviewed the entire supply chain to eliminate waste wherever possible in order to attract new customers and capture a large market share. Ann Taylor works in a highly competitive market segment where retailers fight for market share. Some of Ann Taylor competitors include J. Crew, Polo, Ralph Lauren, The Gap, Talbot's, Tommy Hilfiger, and Coldwater Creek. This market segment requires a high capital reserve, which makes it difficult for potential entrants to effectively operate. In addition, consumers tend to stay loyal because of the reputation and image the brand portrays. Ann Inc. is well known for several strengths. Among these is a strong merchandise technology. In addition, as I mentioned before, they have a very lean supply chain management system. Their loyal customers and brand name reputation help them achieve such a strong market share. Some of the weaknesses Ann Taylor is known for is poor customer service. Also, some might argue that their prices are a little elevated. In addition, they have an aging customer base and need to touch base with a younger crowd that will be loyal Ann Taylor customers for years to come.
Ann Taylor's made some significant investments in regards to human and social capital. First off, they created a program called HER, which is Health Enables Returns, and it's a training program for women in the factory that gives them some knowledge around health and educates them on how to live a healthy life while also managing their work life in the factory. In addition, Ann Taylor works with suppliers that empower the women that work at their factories. This really gives them the option to manage their vendors appropriately and make sure that the vendors that they have working for them and providing them with the resources that they need are actually in line with the company's objectives. Ann Taylor, in addition, has programs that revolve around building a knowledgeable, socially rich culture in their organization. So they really focus on training, development, and building that human capital as well as social capital to really reap the best benefits possible for the organization. Ann Taylor also uses technology to leverage their human capital. They use an intelligent network infrastructure to connect hundreds of nationwide locations and facilitate rapid growth. So it gives them a really good opportunity to collaborate within teams and outside of teams to reap the benefits of human capital, whether in one department or another. In addition, they utilize these services and it provides them a necessary combination of performance, reliability, and cost effectiveness to assist in the facilitation of growth. So they're really seeing the added benefit in technology to leverage that human capital and gain the benefits of what their development has provided and also the human capital that they've been able to retain in the organization. There's two types of knowledge in the business these days, and one of them is called tacit knowledge, which really gives them knowledge that is embedded in personal experience and shared only with the consent and participation of the individual. In addition, there's explicit knowledge, which is where Ann Taylor really benefits, and that's knowledge that can be documented, widely distributed, and easily replicated. So a lot of the knowledge in the organization is actually provided to the workers by Ann Taylor through their training and development programs to ensure that not only are they a profitable organization, but they also leverage human capital to make sure that they are getting the best results possible. Competitive advantage and sustainability is a really important aspect in the retail industry, and especially in regards to fashion. Nobody really makes it in the retail and fashion industry without being somewhat of different than the rest of the group. So what Ann Taylor does is uses a broad differentiation business level strategy that focuses on a large segment of the market and aims to create value through uniqueness. So what that does is gives them the ability to leverage the women that are into the fashion industry and also create value through providing unique products in a total wardrobing aspect. In addition, Ann Taylor is committed to corporate social responsibility and it guides all of their business decisions. So they use this CSR program that allows them to leverage human capital, social capital, and create sustainability through this program that guides all their business decisions. Industry life cycle is interesting in the retail fashion industry. Ann Taylor is a mature organization that benefits from differentiation and overall cost leadership. Everybody knows that the uniqueness in a fashion industry is what really drives the business, but also consumers are looking for an overall cost benefit to them. So Ann Taylor benefits from the cost leadership and being able to offer affordable wardrobing options to women to give them the ability to look professional and also feel good in their own skin. Ann Taylor's corporate level strategy is based on concentrated growth. Some of the pros with concentrated growth are industry resistant to major technological advancements. There are established distribution challenges and limited additional resources. But some of the cons there are that they're vulnerable to change. They make an overcommitment to the current market, and there's a threat of entrenchment. So the overcommitment to current market is really a standout item for me, because I think that Ann Taylor, while very successful in the fashion industry, needs to diversify and explore other industries in order to make sure that they create sustainability for their company. So all in all, some of the strategic options for Ann Taylor that we've identified are one, product development. They can align with the total wardrobing concept while diversifying the products Ann Taylor offers. The company will need to decide whether the additional cost and learning curve is an option. So they will incur additional costs, and there will be a learning curve to get into that new market, but ultimately the diversification will offer additional business opportunities and sustainability. There's also the acquisition option, which really will shrink the competition out there. You're taking two companies that are pretty like-minded and breeding them into one company gets rid of a competitor, but also creates some downside, because the acquisition process could provide minimal growth opportunity and not really any proprietary gains. And then what we feel to be the most relevant option is actually a concentric diversification. Basically what this does is expands the product portfolio while leveraging the brand, but we'll need to partner with other companies and share the profits. So they're not going to reap all of the benefits because they'll have partners in the whole process, but overall I think that's the best bet for them to experience a new revenue stream and not as much risk as some of the other options out there.
Ann's ability to enter foreign markets is most aptly defined as a purely international strategy. At the end of 2012, Ann had 984 stores in 46 states, the District of Columbia, and Puerto Rico, with flagship locations in New York and Chicago. During this time, Ann also established an international presence by opening its first boutique store in Toronto, Canada, with an additional 2 storefronts shortly thereafter. Ann's entrance into Canada allowed exposure to new markets without requiring a drastic responsiveness to local preferences or cost hurdles. The company had also held an online presence since 2000, however it wasn't until 2013 that Ann had announced that both AnnTaylor.com and Loft.com would allow for international shipping. North American distribution would continue to be handled by their primary warehouse in Louisville, Kentucky, however a third-party fulfillment center would be hired in Illinois for satisfying the growing online order volume. In similar fashion to their expansion in Canada, this allowed Ann exposure to larger client bases without the risks and costs associated with building storefronts abroad and facing pressures to conform to local preferences. For the first time, international consumers would now be able to shop in the currency of their choice, see competitive shipping costs and delivery times to their international locations too. This allowed for Ann to begin removing unsuccessful brick-and-mortar locations, reconfigure its strategy for physical stores, and move the needle to begin allocating capital to the outlet store expansion it desired. Ann Inc. follows most closely a blend of approaches for strategic control. The more traditional form would call for performance to be consistently measured against a predetermined goal set, which would often be dictated as strategies become implemented. These strategies would be derived and formulated directly from top management as they set goals for the corporation as a whole. However, given the tectonic shifts in methods of commerce over the lifespan of the industry due to both advancement in technology, not to mention consumer tastes, Ann Inc. constantly needed to keep an eye on the changes in the competitive landscape, fashion preferences, and identify ways to stay ahead of the curve or become it. For lack of a better term, Ann remained paranoid. Using a blend of informational and behavioral control to grip the reins, Ann Inc. is consistently asking questions such as, are we doing the right things, and are we doing things right? Because what good is a well-conceived strategy that cannot be implemented, and what good is a committed workforce focused on the wrong initiatives? However, questions surrounding brand identity and excessive turnover raise flags as to whether strategies or leadership are to blame for any missteps. Within the first several months of hiring her Chief Operations Officer, Laura Wheel, she had abruptly left the company, and rather than replace her vacant position, CEO Krill decided instead to eliminate the position entirely off the organizational chart. Stated best by Krill, building a winning team is critical to fully realizing our company's full potential, although it does appear that creating that winning team is taking much longer than anticipated.
Chapter 10 deals with organizational structure. On the slide, we have listed the key players of the Ann Taylor brand, starting with the CEO, Kay Krill, and other important board members, directors, legal secretaries, etc. When looking at what kind of organizational structure Ann Taylor employs, I first looked at the full-time employees, or the employees that they have, and the number. Currently, Ann Taylor employs 4,250 employees. And when looking at the different types of structures they could have, the international structure seems the most appropriate. That is usually for a company that has anywhere from 2,000 to 5,000 employees and is over the age of 8 as far as operating years. By utilizing this international strategy, Ann Taylor has been able to create a critical mass of international expertise. They also have been able to have a quick response to environmental changes, which enable them to, work within the different markets, which is nice. And this structure has been widely used. According to a Harvard study, 60% of all firms have expanded internationally and have adopted it. Due to Ann Taylor utilizing the strategy, there's a higher need for coordination between the divisions. Every business has its difficulties, and challenges when it comes to operating successfully. So it's very important that there's large communication and coordination when employing this strategy. Chapter 11 deals with leadership and ethics. On the PowerPoint, you can see a picture of the CEO, Kay Krill, as well as the stakeholders identified for Ann Inc., and those would be the owners, the managers, employees, customers, suppliers, creditors, government, community, and investors. A little bit of background on Kay. She's been the CEO since October 2005. And has also been the president since November of 2004. Kay has a passion, and it has boosted her career. She joined Ann Taylor in 1994 and quickly made her way up the ranks, and she was responsible for the creation of Loft, which ended up being a $1 billion business and actually was one of the fastest growing concepts in women's apparel. Kay has been quoted as saying, "You cannot stand still. That's why I try to meet with all levels of the company. I'm out in the field." Kay spurs innovation by being visible and available to all the departments, inspiring others to do their best and take an active role in the company. Kay has made Ann Taylor an ethical learning organization by having a clear vision on where the company is going. Her leadership style has set the tone for organizational management. Kay strongly believes in education and advancement. Her dedication to women around the world is impeccable. Chapter 12 deals with innovation. In 2012, Ann Inc. successfully launched an omni-channel initiative. The initiative enabled store fulfillment of online sales. During 2013, additions were made to the innovation by implementing an e-receipt technology and improving on the online search engine. They also launched a client relationship management platform. By 2014, they had enhanced their client experience across all areas of business by launching a new mobile capacity to improve the user experience and to create what they called an endless aisle, which provide clients access to online merchandise from the store environment. They have plans to launch an enhancement of all their online search capabilities, and they're also going to do an implementation of something called Order Online Pickup in the Store, which is very popular in the retail business. Some things to consider when managing the innovation process for Ann Taylor Inc. would be to create a corporate culture that promotes and rewards innovation, and just to encourage your employees to take risks. And you want to have management not automatically say no to innovations or ideas, so that you have an environment that fosters creativity and innovation. My last slide today is just a recommendation for the Ann Taylor brand. When reviewing the company and the leadership styles and how Kay runs her business, I noticed that she takes a lot of energy and focus on empowering young professionals by providing them opportunities to do fellowships and internships and offering grants. So my thought was to focus on the personnel of the agency and how that could be a recommendation going forward for the Ann Taylor brand. I thought that focusing on hiring the appropriate employees was a good idea. Basically, there's an idea out there to find the quote-unquote good kids. And these are the kids that you want to know have an interest in the fashion field. You don't want to hire employees that really don't want to make it a career or put the time in to improve the brand. So it's very important to know your potential employees' interests. This can kind of help you make a decision on who you should hire or who would stay with the company and possibly be a future leader. The younger employees, I think, can help Ann Taylor remain relevant and current. It's always nice to have a fresh idea or, a young perspective on a brand to make sure that, Ann Taylor continues to be a sought-after fashion designer. And even bring in new customers that might have otherwise looked over the Ann Taylor brand, maybe thinking that it is a more older style of clothing.
My recommendation for Ann Inc. is to focus on evolving with changing times. Ann Taylor has faced economic challenges, expansion challenges, and merchandise product challenges. Still, the organization has survived the economic recession. These changes are required for business success. Retailers face the serious challenge to meet the style demands of women. Trends change and style has also changed. Ann Taylor is a reliable force in retail clothing. The president of Ann Taylor has made changes that can help the organization increase sales and profit margins. She made adaptations that make her a strategic manager in the retail industry. This is important when working in the fashion retail industry that has an element of style that is likely to be short-lived. Thank you for watching our presentation. We hope you've enjoyed and learned from what we've had to offer.